Yep.
Hello there, all you bucket heads and foundlings. Guess what? We've got an intro now. We're in
Woo-hoo!
a podcast. So the intro goes, hello there, all you bucket heads and foundlings. Welcome back to the Disorganized Podcast on the internet, Under the Helmet Podcast. I'm Dylan.
I'm Eli.
I'm Dylan.
Oh, right. I'm Eli.
I didn't prompt him on this because we're disorganized. If you like the video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram to be notified when we go live. Links are in the page description below. So, Eli, today we are talking about something truly special.
Oh, that we are.
We are talking about vengeance.
We are indeed.
Because I am vengeance. For those of you that didn't read the title card and just clicked on, we are talking about the Batman. Oh, Eli with face. Hey. Oh.
Well, I told him I'm doing a new cosplay today.
My boy pulled up looking like the second best Robin.
My boy pulled up looking like the first best Robin, but that's for another episode.
That is for another episode. Okay, so before we get started today, we're gonna get started with our opening question, our bat opener, if you will, our bat breaker. Who are the top three versions of Batman for you? This can be any medium. It could be video games, cartoons, live action. Who are your top three Batman?
Oh, geez, that's Batman the Animated Series. Batman is at number one. That's number one.
Okay.
After that, I think I'd go with Batman from the Arkham Series games.
Okay.
Because it's so good. And I think my next one. Oh, geez. Yeah, next one would be Robert Pattinson. Patterson.
Pattinson. Dang, that's pretty tough. So my top three versions of Batman, I love all the versions you listed, but personally, my number one favorite Batman is I'm the most controversial pick because my favorite version of Batman is Adam West.
Oh, really?
Yes, Adam West is my favorite Batman, and I will fight anybody on that opinion. The 60s Batman show was one of my favorite shows, especially over like quarantine because it was always on. So it was one of the things I got to watch. So I just fell in love with that version of the character. Number two, Robert Pattinson, because this movie was just amazing. Complete tone shift, going from light and campy of, quick, Robin, grab my shark repellent spray, to vengeance. And number three, Christian Bale.
Christian Bale is so good. Christian Bale's.
I like Christian Bale's Batman. He was my second favorite behind West, and then this movie came out. So before we get started, I want to throw up a quick banner that just says we are in non-spoiler.
We got banners now.
So, or in the future, and says, hey, I want to hear about the Batman from my favorite disorganized podcast, Under the Helmet, but I don't want to get anything spoiled. This is your chance. Non-spoilers right here. We will not say a single spoilery thought, but once this section ends, I'm going to put up the spoiler thread, and it's full on from there. So, what are your non-spoiler thoughts on the movie?
Paul Dano's performance is up there with Heath Ledger's Joker. I'm saying
absolutely. Absolutely.
That's going down in history as one of the best performances we've gotten of a superhero movie. Sorry, I'm adjusting my elbow pads.
Happens to the best of us.
Yep. It was spectacular. I mean, he was terrifying. I mean, there were times that he felt like this monster out of a horror movie.
Absolutely. And just from what we've seen in the trailers and the marketing of this movie has been incredible. Like watching all the puzzles that like the the Riddler has been posting for people to solve. It's just absolutely amazing. It's just such a cool like marketing ingenious technique. Again, I love the movie. I thought it was great. Pattinson's probably my second favorite Batman now. Definitely my favorite modern Batman. No disrespect to anyone who's ever put on the cowl, but Pattinson just gave this performance that was just insane to me. And I was one of those people when he first got announced as Batman. I was like, oh man, they're gonna let Twilight play Batman. That's gonna be so dumb. I'm a believer. I'm a believer now. Robert Pattinson, you made me eat my words, brother. Good for you, man. Freaking killed it. I hope you get a sequel. I hope you get a trilogy, because you have without a doubt earned a trilogy. Let's see what else non-spoilers. So, what was your theater experience like? I know you kind of told me a little bit, but I want to tell the audience what was your theater experience like?
Yes. Also, I can't see the comments because I'm on my phone today. As you can see, my normal setup is behind me. Until I get a USB extender, okay. That looks like it might be for just phone. Anyway, theater experience. There was a total of 2 other people in the theater with us. So we practically had the place to ourselves. It was me and my buddy Robert. Robert, if you're in the chat, I can't see you, but he's it was spectacular. Just amazing. I know, still not spoilers. A lot of people mentioned it being a really long movie. I didn't really notice how long it was. Like the only thing I had for me that was keeping any semblance of time was the fact that I chronically check my watch, like no matter if I have stuff to do that day or not.
Yeah, for me, I definitely, and this isn't an issue with the movie. I'm just really impatient. But it is one of those movies that it's 3 hours and you feel those 3 hours. Like I remember getting up at the end, having to like stretch out and like walk it off, because I went Friday night, which was basically opening night for people when it first came out, and I had not a packed theater, but it was a pretty sizable group. Especially in the upper rows, you had to reserve your seats, so the upper rows were all pretty full, and we had some high schoolers, had some teenagers in there, and I was like, oh crap, please don't do this for me. Like, this is why I like sitting at home and streaming on Disney Plus. But the movie started, everybody was quiet. There was a couple scenes in the movie where people like cheered, and at the end, like people stood up and like clapped. That was amazing to me. It was that people stood up and they gave like, it was probably like a 45-second like standing ovation to the movie. Like people stood up and clapped and were cheering. Like that is one of the highest praises a movie can get. I haven't had a theater experience like that since Endgame. Well, actually, that's not true. Since Spider-Man, but
No Way Home.
That's untrue. Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home was different. That was a different type of hype. Like Spider-Man, you came up and you clapped because you were like, yeah, this was awesome. This was amazing. Like, everything I wanted to happened. Like at the end of Batman, everybody stood up and was just like, that was the coolest thing I have seen. Like, this is like cinema, peak cinema. Eat your heart out, Martin Scorsese. But with that being said, I think it is time.
Are we getting rid of the banner?
To transition. This is our spoiler warning. Repeat. Spoiler warning. You have been warned for spoilers starting now. Okay. So first I want to talk about the scene where everybody stood up and clapped. And it was the scene from the trailers, the car crash scene where Batman was chasing the Penguin, and he flips his car, and when the Batmobile shoots out of the flames, apparently that was a practical effect. Like, that actually happened.
Dang.
And hit the dirt, pulled up, and Penguin's car just got flipped. He got spun out.
Oh.
When that happened, my whole theater was just cheering and applauding. And it was the most appropriate moment for it, because everybody was just like, whoa! Just going to town.
I want to talk for a second about like the use of the Batmobile, because when it's first introduced, like we see it in the background of the cave and he's still working on it. Like he doesn't even have the damn thing ready.
or he was upgrading it.
Ooh, could be.
That's what I love about this movie is that you have so many things in the background, like, and it kind of keeps up with the passage of time. Like, time is passing. Like, it's not all just a one night thing. Like, so the movie starts on, I believe, Halloween.
Yep.
And it ends on, I believe, like November 6th or 7th.
Yeah.
So I believe it takes because Batman starts his opening monologue, October 31st. Oh, chills. I think probably my favorite part about this movie is because it's not some big dumb action movie. It's a psychological thriller where you have like two scenes of Batman beating people up in the whole movie. You've got that opening like where he shows up and kicks the ever-loving crap out of those thugs. The Joker gang, I think they're called. And then you also see the scene where, at the very end, where I know I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but I don't want to like go plot point by plot point because there's other people that could probably do that way better than us.
You're the most disorganized podcast.
Yeah, the most disorganized podcast. We jump around. We do what we want. Deal with
Jump around.
Jump around. Jump up, and get down. Jump, jump. Everybody jump, 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 jump. Love that. But anyways, so I was going to ask you this. So what was probably your favorite scene in the movie?
That is a tough pick. There were a lot of scenes that I really loved in the movie. The introduction of the Batmobile, I loved. I don't know that it was my favorite, but it was so good because when it's first introduced, it's just like this monster.
Yes.
Like that he revs it from the darkness. It's just, it's so good. Like they used it almost not as a car, but as this like ever continuing force. Like nothing stops it. It just keeps going. Like you see them throw, like Penguin throws so much at this thing and it just keeps going. Ooh, that
classic American muscle cars, baby. Gotta love it.
That chase scene was so good. But favorite scene. There was just so much. I know from a dialogue perspective, one of my favorite scenes was definitely when Batman and the Riddler were in Arkham. Like right before Riddler, tells him, "Oh, it's not over yet. It's not over."
Yes. I actually wanted to bring up that scene as well. We'll get back to my favorite scene in a minute, but I want to ask this: does Riddler know Batman is Bruce Wayne?
I don't know, and I was thinking about that the entire scene because there's this moment where
I have
seen
so much debate online about it, and some people are like, "Oh, you idiot! Obviously, he doesn't know because if he knew, he would have like put it on his blog." And then some people are just like, "Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of left ambiguous," and I think that's the point. It's supposed to be ambiguous, and it's supposed to make the audience question, like, "Well, shoot, does he know? Does he not know? Like, what's the deal with this?"
I think it's supposed to be left ambiguous as like a fear factor almost for Bruce, like to scare him.
I personally think he doesn't know. And here's why. I saw some pretty compelling evidence for this. I'm stealing this from a TikTok thread, which is pretty great. But basically, somebody in the comment said, if Riddler knew Bruce Wayne was Batman, then he would not have sent the bomb to Bruce. The bomb he sends to Bruce Wayne. It says for Bruce Wayne's eyes only. Assuming that Bruce Wayne opens it up, gets blown up, and dies, why would he also send a letter that says, for the Batman?
That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. So in that sense, I don't believe that he knows.
I will raise you this.
Yes.
It doesn't matter because Riddler
Oh,
doesn't.
absolutely. It doesn't matter. And that is the thing about Batman's Rogues Gallery is that often it doesn't matter
It doesn't
whether
matter
or not they know that
because
he's Batman.
even said in that scene, as Batman's standing there before him, you know, all like pounds of Kevlar and everything, and he's like, "This is who you really are when you have your mask on.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter who you are underneath that thing. This is who you really are."
Exactly. Absolutely. And that is one of the coolest things about this movie is that it leaves so much open to audience interpretation. Like they just don't tell you. Like the Riddler doesn't at one point go, "I know the truth, Bruce Wayne," and then he starts singing, "Ave Maria." God, I'm gonna. Oh look, everybody disappeared because I started singing.
Oh,
Not really. Not really. Not really. They're still here. Hopefully. Send a comment in the chat if you're still here. Please, if you like my singing, stop lying to me. I am no vocalist by any means. By any means a vocalist. So I want to go back. My favorite scene in the movie is probably the scene at the end where Batman is pulling people from the rubble and he's helping people out, where he says, I need to be more than vengeance. And I think that's a beautiful thing to end the movie on, especially as somebody who, kind of, relates to that aspect of, hey, you can be this, unabashed force of just pure terror. But he realizes that the Batman is more as a symbol than will do more as just, oh shoot, the bat symbol's up. Let me not go rob this bank now. Karaoke night with Under the Helmet. You're gonna have to get a few drinks in me first, but I'll do it.
oh, we'll do that. We'll
Sing
do
my-
that. No one expects the Imperial Inquisition night.
Yep.
We'll
And then
after that.
what we'll do is I'll sing my favorite karaoke song, Tequila.
I think what we should do by
Tequila.
then, stream up and people can donate, and we'll sing whatever comes with the donations.
Oh gosh. Nothing inappropriate though. I'm not trying to get in trouble.
I am.
Only good Christian songs. If you drop cupcake in the chat, I will block you.
I won't, but I will pay $20 to hear you sing thought shit.
Which one?
Huh?
Which one?
Oh, Thought Shit by Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh. Shoot, you get that for free.
Double or nothing. I'll sing frog voice.
Just a few drinks, take a shot every time you say Batman. All right, so the Caped Crusader in this movie is, he wears a very specific kind of suit, I have to say. And one thing I really like about it is how tough that suit is. Like, that suit takes a beating.
Oh, yeah. It gets shot at, like, so much.
Yeah, so that is one of the things where, like, he takes a shotgun point blank to the chest, and I'm just like, all right, why you got to do that? I was fully immersed. I think that was the one scene that, if there was any scene that like took me out of the movie, it would be that scene. Just because I'm like, okay, come on, man, that's a little bit much. That's a little bit of a stretch of my suspension of disbelief. I was with you with everything else, but up to that one point, I was like, all right, little sus, bro, but okay. Although right afterwards, he does get rightfully knocked on his behind, though. So,
oh yeah, he gets blown back.
Probably almost dies, and then he says, "You know what? Straight adrenaline, click," and then proceeds to pound the ever-loving dog shit out of this man. Just boom, 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 boom. The one thing I'm wondering though, how is that man's glasses not broken?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Come on, Matt Reeves. We have questions that need to be answered.
Matt Reeves.
Calling you out, Matt Reeves. No, not really. Your movie's great. If you want to come on our podcast and talk about it, please. I love your mustache, bro. Please.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool. Not me simping for Matt Reeves.
Not me simping for Robert Pattinson.
Bro, for real.
Mm.
Pattinson? Dang. That's all I'm going to say. Let's see. Let's talk about Catwoman. What did you think about her?
I think Zoe Kravitz did a hell of a job. I think that was good.
She gatekeeped, gaslighted, and girl bossed the fuck out of that role.
So hard. So
Quote
hard.
me saying that. Batman is the main character. Bruce Wayne is the alter ego. Absolutely. So there's been a lot of comics that actually delve into this and delve into the idea that, you know, Bruce Wayne is the mask that Batman wears. My favorite version of this, though, is actually in Batman Beyond.
Oh.
There's a scene like this in Batman Beyond where apparently I haven't seen Batman Beyond. I've only seen the clip of this where Terry McGinnis says, who is Batman Beyond, says to Batman or Bruce, an old Bruce Wayne. He's like, so how did apparently a character like took over Bruce's mind, and he asked him, he's like, so Bruce, how did you know that something was up? Like, how did you know someone was trying to mind control you? And he goes, well, because I'm not crazy. And he's like, well, I hope you have a better explanation than I'm not crazy. And he goes, so he goes, well, the voice kept calling me Bruce. That's not what I called myself. And he's like, Terry goes, what do you call yourself? And without saying a word, he just kind of smirks. And Terry McGinnis goes, oh, of course you would. And then he's like, but that's my name now. And Batman's like, whatever. And that was my Kevin Conroy impression. Not gonna lie, Kevin Conroy got a mad voice for Batman. He killing that role. He slips into that a little bit too easy. Slipping into that Batman role. So, okay, yeah, Catwoman, absolutely amazing. Loved her character. Would love to see more in a potential sequel.
I think
Speaking of
isn't
that,
spinoff?
go ahead.
Isn't she getting her own spinoff?
She might be. I don't even know. I don't keep track.
Arkham Series on the way.
Oh yeah. There's a series about like the Penguin or something. Apparently, I'm interested, but I don't want it to be. I'm cautiously optimistic because obviously I love this movie, but I'm also skeptical because like I don't want it to be oversaturated. I kind of want it to just be what it is without like oversaturation of it. Like it's gonna be good. I'm not worried about that, but I'm just kind of also at the same time I'm just like, hey, we'll see what happens. But moving on to Penguin, bro, that dude's makeup was next level.
Dude, it was so good. Like
Yep.
apparently, I think it was the guy who plays Carmine Falcone couldn't recognize the actor.
Yeah, I think his own kid couldn't recognize him. Like his kid was scared.
Yeah, wasn't it? I think it was Colin Farrell.
Yeah, Colin Farrell. I think. Shoot, amazing actor, did an amazing job. Same with the guy that played Carmine Falcone. Every actor in this movie literally brought their A game, and it shows. Like they all killed it. Like the guy who plays Commissioner Gordon, I can't remember his name right now, but amazing performance after amazing performance. Like not once did I look at any of these characters and think, oh yeah, that couldn't be. Colin Farrell went to Starbucks in the makeup and nobody recognized him. That makes sense.
Nice.
I need to do that. I need to put on some like face prosthetic makeup and go to my local Starbucks because I've gone there frequently enough now to where they recognize my name in order, and that scares me. And they're just like, "Oh, Dylan, how's it going?" I'm like, "I don't like this." They told me to get their app the other day. I was like, they told me, "Hey, you come here enough times where you should get our app, so you can get points for free drinks and stuff." And I was just like, I'm gonna see y'all later. I ain't coming back for a while.
No, just start
Because
showing.
what's my Starbucks order? You'll never
Just be like-
know.
One, whatever it is that you order for vengeance. It's for vengeance.
Yeah. It's for. Podcast chat. Give us your Starbucks order, Dylan.
No, I don't think I will.
No, I don't think I will. There we go. I like that we can keep the spoiler banner along with putting up chat. I really like that. Thanks, StreamYard.
That's-
Very cool. Gets a seal of
Very-
approval. Thumbs up. Ding! Look at my abnormally long thumbs. Woo, woo, woo.
Look at my regular size thumbs that do this.
Yeah, yours got a lot more bend than mine do. Mine are just kind of like. One,
I can't-
2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. 5, 6, 7, 8. This will be a piece of cake. How funny would it have been if I just punched my laptop screen and just knocked it over? Oops.
We just get the technical difficulty. Wait, we don't have a technical difficulty screen yet.
Do we? Hold on.
Do we?
I don't think so. That'd be really funny though. Theme. Oh, we could change our theme up.
Ooh, darkness.
Yes.
Yes.
That's cool. That's so cool. Look at that. Look at that. You guys get to watch us learn how the heck we do this stuff.
Does it happen before the
Yeah, that
stream?
theme.
Absolutely not.
No, we figured it out during stream. That way, when you rewatch the video later, you'll know, hey, I remember I was there when they changed it. And for those of you who are watching us recorded after the fact, hello. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe
We appreciate it.
to your favorite disorganized podcast. All right, so moving on. So I think the next thing I really want to hit on with this movie is obviously it's doing really well at the box office.
As it
People are
should.
going to want a sequel. I want a sequel. They're going to get a sequel.
I want a sequel done well.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it will be done well. I believe that because people are currently comparing this movie to The Dark Knight. That's the biggest comparison right now. Where this movie and The Dark Knight are like people's top two right now.
Mhm.
I personally like this more than The Dark Knight, but I actually rewatched The Dark Knight before going into the Batman. So,
Oh,
yep, I did my research, did my homework.
See-
But I will ask this. So, Robert Pattinson has stated in interviews that he wants a Robin. Who do you think? Which Robin is going to be Robert Pattinson's Robin?
Dick Grayson.
You think it's going to be? You think they're going to go Dick Grayson?
Yeah.
I think that would be the one that makes the most sense.
Well, because
But
he's the first one.
Absolutely. But what I would love is for there to be a time jump between this movie and the next movie. Because we know this Batman is a lot more detective-like and focus on a detective. And supposedly, the next enemy, or the next villain, is going to be the Court of Owls. Is what people have been saying, is that they really want the Court of Owls from, I believe it's New 52. Court of Owls is actually one of the first Batman comics I ever actually sat down to read. Court of Owls was scary, dude.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a terrifying book. So, with that being said, I would love for there to be a time jump and for there to be Dick Grayson grown up as Nightwing, implied Jason Todd in Death in the Family, because Robert Pattinson has also said that he wants to do Death in the Family. So that would be a really cool, the Batman 2, but that wouldn't really work with Court of Owls as the villain. So that's why I say his Robin should be Tim Drake
Okay.
for the Court of Owls movie. Because here's why. Tim Drake is is basically the one that takes the detective mantle from Bruce if anything happens. So it would make sense that we have Bruce and Dick along with Tim Drake and implied dead Jason Todd, because I like Jason Todd to suffer. And what would be really cool is if during this whole incident, who shows up but the Red Hood? And all of a sudden, this movie just became 4 hours long.
Yeah.
I would still watch it. Give an intermission at hour 2. Pause the movie. Let everyone go pee for 15 minutes. Come back. Get going. Dude, that'd be a great idea. But yes, so... And what would be great, too, is if instead of being brought back by the Lazarus Pit, what if... Actually, I just figured out how that could work. Court of Owls can resurrect people.
They can?
So does the Lazarus Pit. So instead of Jason being resurrected by the Lazarus Pit, who does the Court of Owls make their Talon but Jason Todd? How sick would that be?
That'd be cool.
How sick would that be? Because that way you get Nightwing, you have Tim Drake Robin, Red Hood, who's a Talon, but then after he leaves, becomes the Red Hood. Also, Bloodhaven was mentioned in the Batman. I smiled when I saw they said that. I thought of you. But honestly, and at the very end of the movie, what would be a great little tease, but Damian Wayne. End credits scene.
I feel like that's going to become a very heavy movie.
Absolutely. And this is just my fan speculation for the movie. This isn't anyone else's. Like, this is just something I just thought of, but I think it would be really cool to have the 3 Robins in that movie. And then tease Damian at the end.
Yes, the other Robin.
Hey, Damian's a good Robin.
Damian is a good Robin. He's growing on me. But when I first met him, I tied him to a light post. So, you know.
There's a good reason for that, though. He did stab you multiple times.
Hey, he's a little shit.
He is. He's the blood son.
He is.
He'll never let you live that down either.
No, he won't.
Also, I kind of feel bad for not putting this on. So, it's been sitting here. I'm gonna pop it on my face.
Oh, there you
my
go.
dominant mask on too. Shout out to the Buff Nerd on Instagram for making me this. Dude, this is absolutely amazing. Dude, you absolutely killed this. I love it so much. So shout out to you, my guy. I have not posted this yet because I have not had the motivation to get back into my Red Hood. But as soon as I do, I will be taking pictures and tagging this guy in it because his work is absolutely amazing. This is all 3D printed right here. But
Nice.
and it's got red lenses.
I do see.
I know it's kind of hard. Swoop, red lenses. What?
Look at it go. Look at
Back
it
to
go.
the darkness.
We decided
now
on
chat.
Dark Stream.
Yep, back to the darkness. So, going forward, what do you have anything you'd like to say extra from what I've got?
I want to see Mr. Freeze. I want to see Mr. Freeze.
Ooh.
I want to see
Mr. Freeze would work in the Court of Owls as well.
I want to see Mr. Freeze not like jokey ice pun Mr. Freeze. Like, don't get me wrong, Arnold's performance was Arnold's performance. I want to see a more serious Mr. Freeze. I want to see what we got in the Arkham games, where he's absolutely terrifying. Like, the Mr. Freeze fight is... Wait, hold up. Armor Helmet Special Edition Under the Mask. Yes.
Under the mask tonight.
Under the Mask.
Hey, if you like no masks, God, I'm getting stuff in my eye. But yeah, so Nick.
I'd want to see like the Arkham games Mr. Freeze, because his boss fight is one of the single best boss fights.
The idea of connecting the Arkham series to a trilogy.
All
right.
Video games.
All right? So it says, tell me the idea of connecting the Arkham series to a trilogy. What is that all about?
Wait a second, hold up. Connecting the Arkham series to a trilogy. Oh, geez. We talked about this at lunch today. I'm trying to remember. Cal and I had lunch today and talked Batman. Like at the tail. Connecting the Arkham series to a trilogy. I'm trying to think. I've had so many. Like my brain has just been buzzing Batman today. I've had so many thoughts. I don't know that I remember it off the top of my head. Yeah, it's not coming to me.
Dang, we'll have to do another post about it whenever we figure it out. Next time we talk Batman.
Yeah, my mask is very pointy up here. At the top.
Your mask is very what?
It's very pointy at the top.
It is. Mine is too. It's got the little points right up here. Pokey, poke.
Yep.
Gotta wear that outlaw mask proudly. Red Hood and the Outlaw is one of the best comics with Red Hood in it, other than Under the Red Hood. And also, which one? Death in the Family, Under the Red Hood, Lost Days. Shout out to Red Hood Lost Days. One of my favorite runs.
Shout
but
out
yeah,
to
so
most of the DC stuff, it has Nightwing. Because I'm the best.
Just because you're the first doesn't mean you're the best.
Sometimes it does.
All right. Arkham series is just the collection of rogues in Arkham and the stories of how they got in. Season finale, Arkham Breakout, leading to the third movie in trilogy.
I do remember this. Yes.
And that would work perfectly too with my Court of Owls sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
The Arkham series would like start just before the second Batman movie. And then, it finishes out just before the third one. And the season finale breakout of the Arkham TV show would be all of the villains breaking out and unleashing hell on Gotham.
And the intro to the final movie, which would have Batman, Nightwing, Red Hood, Red Robin, and of course you got to throw in Batgirl, spoiler, all the rest. Throw in the whole Bat family.
Get everybody. I'd love to see Duke. I don't know enough about him.
Yes. Duke does not get enough credit, honestly.
Isn't he the only with powers?
He has powers? I don't know much about the character, to be honest. I'm speaking from my own ignorance. I don't know much about the character either, so.
I'll know more. Got to. I'll know more.
Because isn't he Duke Fox? Isn't he? Batwing? Or is that a different Fox? Or is that? Because I know Batman of the future in Future State is Lucius's second kid, who's like, I think Luke Fox, or is that the other one? I don't know. In the intro to the final movie, Pattinson now has the Arkham Knight bar mobile and puts someone back and drives them into to GCPD. Oh, that would be interesting. That would be a really cool idea for a movie. Honestly.
Hold up. Pull that comment up. I wanna read it.
Yeah. In the intro to the final movie, Pattinson now has the Arkham Knight bar mobile, and he puts someone in the back and drives them to GCPD.
Oh, the Arkham Knight Batmobile, where it's got opens up in the back and has the containment.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't read.
The tank, though.
Yeah. But yes, we have talked the Batman. We have
We
talked
have
sequel
early.
ideas. We have talked again, teasing who the best Robin is.
Yes. We all know.
Do you have any other thoughts on the Batman that you would like to share with our audience?
I can't say that I do.
Okay. So I'll end on this. If you had to give the movie a score, 1 out of 10, what would you
10.
give it?
It's a 10. It's a
I
10.
would also give it a 10. I would give it a 10 out of 10 because I judge movies on my enjoyment. So if I enjoy the movie, 10 out of 10. On that
I-
scale, the first Suicide Squad is a 10. That movie is enjoyable. I'll stand by that. I liked Suicide Squad, the first one. I liked the Suicide Squad a lot more. But I judge movies based off whether or not I enjoy watching them. And if I enjoy watching the movie, then it'll pass. But if I had to give it a number score, I'd give it like a 9.5 out of 10. Because to quote Lightsaber Radio Kyle, nothing's perfect. He is right. Nothing is perfect.
I don't know. Nightwing does exist. Takes a long sip of your water.
Long judgmental sip.
Long judgmental sip. Keep your
But
judgment.
with that being said, thank you to everybody for coming out tonight. Thank you to all of our viewers who are watching us afterwards. Thank you so much for watching another engaging episode of the Under the Helmet podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram so you will be notified when our next live show is. Also, don't forget, if you have any memes or things you would like to post about us, send them our way. We will post them and tag you. We have no shame.
Absolutely. Not.
Until next time, this has been the most disorganized podcast on the internet. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time under the helmet. Now, if I can find the end broadcast button. Peace out. And remember, eat your vegetables and don't go down dark alleyways.
And remember,
Because if you do, I'm vengeance.